Hi, Mr. Michael. Welcome to West Ridge in Mitchell's Plain. Just had to ever talk with you about your days when you started here in the 70s. What was Mitchell's Plain like? If you can just give us your views of Mitchell's Plain. Go ahead.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Thomas Michael, a retired traffic officer. I've worked with Mr. Alec Lawrence for many, many years, who's also now retired. But it was during 1970 when the city of Cape Town wanted a model township for the so-called colored people. And how it started in an area called Woodlands, which was developed by the divisional council at that stage. And in order to get to Woodlands, you had to drive through a road called Eisleben Road, which was a white gravel road from Walter Frieden Road into the flats, but you had to cross the sand dunes. Now, I remember one of the residents there who were also instrumental in a developed area for the coloureds was the late Mayor Theresa Solomon. She was one of the residents there, and there's where I met her for the first time. And she wanted something better that was given to the coloured people at the time. And I frequented the place because one of our ex-colleagues, Mr. Yanni Lucas Bolly, he was also a resident. They stayed in Mitchell Avenue, Woodlands. That was during 1970. But then the city council then started to develop Mitchell's Plain. And they brought in various contractors. The first contractor that was here was Rabi. They were the first contractors to build the roads. And thereafter to build the houses was Ilke Holmes, Morris, Best Director, and many more others. And when they started building these homes, there were no schools, no police stations, whatever. And it was in the late 70s when houses were built along Dagbreek Road and also Silver Sands. That area was called Westridge. And the police then had a house on the corner of Park and Silver Sands Road. They had no cells when they started. They had 5 policemen there, and the station commander at the time was Abram Peterson. He had 5 constables working with him. The charge office was in the lounge, and then they had the kitchen, and they slept in one bedroom, all of them. Eventually, they brought in 2 containers, which they used as cells in the backyard. I was then asked by the then traffic chief to visit the police station and see what can be done as the residents started moving in, and they wanted a traffic officer and the public to get used to traffic enforcement, whatever. I spent many, many months there, and I remember meeting various people. I remember one of the first residents in Park Road was Mr. and Mrs. Davids, and one morning at about 6:30, Mrs. Davids came to the police station. They had a problem at home, and we had no transport. And then myself and the station commander, Abram Peterson, we took a walk to their home and we sorted out the sort of domestic problem. However, that was early 80s. Mrs. Davids is staying in Michigan in the United States now, and she's still in touch with me, and she knows the history, and she spent the family many, many years in Mitchell's Plain. I've seen Mitchell's Plain grow from a seed that was planted to a plantation and what it is today. So I've got many, many memories and the history of what we experienced, the type of people. Now, I remember that Woodlands was actually opened by the minister then, Koornhof, but Mitchell's Plain was opened by B.J. Foster, And I remembered when he came in to hand over the first ski to the resident in Dagbreek Road, he had to come along Danafontein Road, down Weltevreden Road, because there was no other route but that route. Taxis only came as far as Nyanga, and from Nyanga they had to transport the public down to Mitchells Plain because there was no train service. However, today, after 6 years of neglect today, the train service has again started in Mitchells Plain as from this morning. So those are all good memories that comes to mind, many more to tell.
No, thank you, Mr. Michael. It was very interesting. Thank you very much for that.